What is up, everyone? Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Just making sure I got the day right. July 13th of 2024. We are back here with another live stream of our support group, which if you're new to it, it's pretty much a free resource that happens most Saturdays. And it is for anyone who firsthand or secondhand has experienced any type of pain as a result of addictions, mental illness, trauma, or grief and loss. It's for anyone who is looking around at the life that they have and they say, this is not the life that I wanted. It's for anyone who believes that by doing what they need to in the present moment, they have the ability to transform the shape and trajectory of their future, not just for themselves, but the world we live in. It's dedicated to the possibility of human transformation. So a few things about myself as we wait for people to come on, and you'll be able to see that it's so for example, Sophia said hi. You'll be able to see that it's interactive. So if you want to, leave comments or ask questions, it's something that you're able to do, and I do my best to answer in real time. So my name is Param. I have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. I am licensed as an addictions counselor. I am in personal recovery myself. So June 13th of 2008 is when I took step into this world of healing and recovery and transformation. And everything since then has been, it hasn't been perfect, but it's been really good. And I do teach at a local community college called Saddleback Community College. I just got my fall class assigned to me. It's called HS 177, and it's the Family Dynamics of Addiction and Abuse. So if you want to take a class with me, feel free to. It's available online. And I coach high school basketball. I've been doing that for about 15 years. And, proudly am one of the people who manages Buckeye Recovery Network. We're outpatient facility here in Huntington Beach. We've been doing it for a long time, been at the same spot for over a decade. So long story short, I hope that my personal experience, my professional experience, my educational experience creates the platform for you to get some value from what you are investing in this, which is the gift of your time. So the return on your investment hopefully will be worth it. And today's a new talk. So for those of you who've been following these talks since 2020, we have 4 years worth of videos in our database. We have 4 years worth of different styles of myself and different ways that I looked available there, and feel free to hop on and watch them anytime you want. But today's a new talk, and what we're going to be talking about today is this thing called our focus and how our focus can actually create and shape our reality. We're going to talk about different focus patterns that you may have and the cost or the impact of those patterns in the quality of your life. And then we're going to talk about why our focus is that important anyways. Like, what does our focus actually do? And hopefully put it all together to have you start to question and start to consider if the way you focus is negatively impacting your world. So we'll just get right into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is for all of you to consider and ask yourself the following question. And the following question is this: what are you focusing on right now? See, we can only focus at one thing. We think that we're multitaskers, but no, we're not. Every time you go on a different task, you focus on that one task. You might lack the ability to sustain your focus and hop to a bunch of different things, thus calling yourself a multitasker, but we actually only focus on one thing at a time. And whatever it is that you're focusing on, some of you woke up and you had certain things you focused on. Some of you woke up and right now you're trying to watch this, but you're focusing on something else. Some of you are focusing on people, situations, things. So what are you focusing on right now? And the reason this becomes very important is because I want you to know that your focus actually creates your reality. See, a lot of these talks that I get, I go and I watch different thought leaders, personal development coaches, people that help train in organizations and high level people, and just like, okay, what do these people talk about? And I watch it. And then I grab the information and I kind of like internalize it. And I say, how can I adjust this to the recovery process? Because all life is recovery. So Tony Robbins, I have this thing which I'm going to share with you guys right now, but I want this exercise and I want you to try it. So I heard him say this and it was like, wow, this is pretty profound yet simple. So each of you right now are sitting in different parts of the country, in your own home, in your own office. Some of you may be watching this on your phone, hopefully not driving. I want you to look around your room for the next 30 seconds and notice everything that you see that is the color blue. So start scanning right now. Look up, look to your left, look to your right, look down, look at the furniture, look at the wall, look at the rug, look at the, whatever the heck is inside your room. Pillow covers. Identify everything that's blue. And count how many there is. Give yourself a little count. 10 things, 12 things, 3 things, 8 things. Okay. You got that number? Now I want you to tell me, how many things did you see that were red? You're like, oh, red. You said, you mean blue? No. Red. And you say, well, I wasn't looking for the red ones. I didn't see any of the red ones. I saw a few, I think. See, you were so busy, focused, trying to find everything that's blue. And by the way, when you say blue, you also start to look at things and say, well, that one kind of looks like it's blue. Like it looks like green, but I could see a little blue in it. So I'm going to count that one as a blue thing, because you want to focus. You want to be successful with this thing. You want to be able to count all the blues. But the question was, how many did you see that were red? And you're like, but that wasn't the question. See, this exercise just shows to you that in life, multiple things exist, but what we focus on, and sometimes what we're directed to focus on, creates our reality. So it really makes it important of who's directing you to do what. So that's one example. The next example that I have for you is, let's say that you went yesterday, or yesterday you went in the car and you went to work, maybe ran some groceries, picked up the kids, did some errands, and you got home at the end of the night. And I ask you the following question. Throughout your day, when you were driving, how many cars did you see that were yellow? And you might say, I don't know. I wasn't really looking for yellow cars, but I think I saw a few, because one of them was this really cool Ferrari. It's like, oh, okay, so you saw a few yellow cars. You're like, I really don't know. I mean, I wasn't looking. Say, okay, today when you go off to run your errands, go to the grocery store, pick up the kids, do whatever it is you have to do, I want you to sit in the car and with focus, count every single yellow car that you see. And you know what would happen? You know what would happen? You will very easily, at the end of the day, say, I saw 22 yellow cars. Isn't that fascinating? When you focus on what it is you're looking for in life, you have the ability to see it, to count it, to quantify it, to experience it. But we lack focus. So I got a hater. What's up, Joel? Shut up, wanna be dar man. I don't know what that means, but hey, man, I got big ears and I am a monkey. Oh, that's fascinating. I appreciate it, Joel. Thank you for watching. It so means something. Hopefully, sit around and get something out of it. That'd be kind of cool. And we never know. So appreciate the support of this, of Mr. Joel. So the focus part becomes important. So now here's what I really need you to consider and start looking at. Once you understand what the focus is, I want you to start looking at the patterns of your focus. Okay. We all have these things, and these are called patterns of focus. Everyone has one. Even our friend over there, the Joel that, obviously doesn't like me and thinks I got big ears and I'm a monkey. He has certain patterns of thinking, and we all do. So what are the costs of these patterns of thought, and how do these impact us in life, right? How do they impact us in life? So we're going to go over 3 of these. And by the way, if you fall into one of these categories or you don't, if it impacts you or it doesn't, it really doesn't matter. Let's just look and see which one you're in. And then the ultimate part is to consider the cost that it has on us. Okay. So the very first one that we have is, are you a person that focuses on what you have in life, or are you a person who focuses on what is missing? So do I focus on what I have in life, or do I focus on what is missing? And majority of people, when asked this question, they typically always focus on what is missing. And how would I at least know that, as a clinician? So sitting down with people when they come to see you, they're usually coming in a place in life. No one's coming in there and saying, hey, well, thank you for the session today. My life, things are, I'm really blessed. I got people that love me. I got a roof over my head. I got some food. I got this job. I got my health, relatively healthy. Nobody comes in with that stuff. Nobody focuses on that stuff. What do they focus on? This person's doing this. This person's doing that. This person said this. This person, my boss this, my boss that, my spouse this, my spouse that. They're focusing on, I don't feel good. I don't look good. I'm not happy. I'm not content. There's a hyper focus on the things that people are missing in their life. And unfortunately, we've been conditioned that way. Society conditions us that way. That when we are always striving to fill the void that it is we're missing, then we're never going to have enough. There's a lot of research and data statistics out there about, the people that are very good at what they do, and their elite skills takes them to the top of whatever mountain it is, whether it's like getting championships in sports, or, getting Nobel Peace Prizes, or getting, becoming musicians on the stage. They're just doing beautiful things. And, the best of the best actors, actresses, chefs, culinary people, like the best of the best surgeons, the best of the best, because they also focus on what is missing in life. When they get to the top of that mountain, guess what? They still feel inadequate. They still feel like it's not enough. They still feel like it's, they're potentially failures. And if you really look at it from that perspective, it's so freaking sad. It's so sad that we are all conditioned that way. So let's see what we have here. I have encountered 2 clients who came into positive focus like that. I wonder if they were minimizing. I'll get to, see, here's the thing. What I think it is, and thank you for your comment. So I'm not saying there aren't clients that don't do it. It's just very rare. And typically what happens is, I don't know, they could be minimizing, or they could have also experienced some type of counseling prior, some type of therapy before, and they know like what they need to do to get out of what they're in. So I've had that happen before. Like they've had experience in recovery before, and or just experience in mental health healing before. And someone tells them that, hey, like in order to get out of this mindset you're in, you got to start focusing on what you got. Yeah. So they know the tools, they know like they know what they have to do to get out of the rut. But yet when they're not with you talking, talking the talk and doing what they need to do and saying what they need to say, there's a big probability that when they're by themselves, they're still focusing on what's missing. So there's like a practical application part that potentially is missing. That's what I had to guess. And Sophia, that's great. I'm trying to reframe my thinking and be grateful for what I have. And that's a really good, first of all, just the fact that you understand what reframe means is important. This is for anyone who doesn't know what it means, is we always have a choice on our thoughts. So if you're having a certain type of a thought, right? If you're having a certain type of a thought, for example, let me go back to my little bully over here. I had a bully. Where is he? Joel Mendoza. He called me a big ass monkey ears man. So I don't know. He really a lot. He didn't like me. So at first, when someone tells me that I'm a wannabe and I got big ears, and I'm like, Joel, how dare this human being talk to me like that? Who does this person think he is, right? Like at first he got defensive. He got a little sad. He getting bullied by some guy named Joel online. But what happens from there is I say, like maybe I remind Joel of somebody that he genuinely doesn't like. Maybe Joel's going through having a bad day. Maybe he just doesn't know like what it is that we do here and like the intention it is to help human beings out. See, when I reframe my thought and I go from where I was to where it was, it's okay. It's like at the end of the day, it's like he doesn't really know. But I could sit on it and be like, how dare he says. It's a choice. So the reframe is a powerful thing. We can shift our perspective to find one that suits us a little bit better. So it's see, there's people just kind of, talking beautiful things. It's nothing bad, people supporting each other and trying to educate and teach. And I appreciate that, man. That's cool. That's love, man. Yep. Stay with love. There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about too. It's always stay with love. And I appreciate you coming in and supporting the message. High value gem. We're all here for the right reasons, and you never know. Sometimes people come around in different ways, and their time is different. So the next one that we have here that was patterns of focusing. So do you focus on what you have or what is missing? So I think we talked about that enough. And the danger of focusing on what is missing is what? The potential to never have enough, to the potential of never being enough, to potential for never doing enough, to never saying enough, to never feeling enough. And I'm telling you, when you don't feel blank enough in life, what happens? We feel inadequate. And someone who feels inadequate and does not feel empowered cannot, will not, nor will ever achieve the goals that they want to achieve at the level they want to achieve to the fullest of their potential. Because how can you feel like you're not good enough to be X, Y, and Z and become it? It just doesn't work that way. And if you do, you'll feel like you're an imposter. You'll feel like you're a phony. You'll feel like you're a fake. Read the autobiography of the super, super, super successful in something they've done. They all get there and they don't feel like they're there because they're focusing on what is missing. So it's a beautiful thing to kind of go there and do that. And let's see what we got here. And the next one we got is, it's like, I don't want to, that's all we got to do. It's just spread the message. And he probably just watched a few seconds and dipped out of here anyway. And it's okay. But thank you for leading by example. It's a good thing to do. And I appreciate the community appreciates it. You get good karma in return for life, for doing the right thing, and all is well. So what's the next one we have? So do you focus on what you can or what you can't control in life? Ooh. So a lot of the family members that originally started watching this are, here because there's a loved one in their life. Someone in their life is struggling with addictions, mental health. Something's going on. And what do they want to do? They want to just control the situation. They want to fix it. They want to rescue it. They want to solve it. But there's a truth that exists in the healing world that you can't do it for someone else. No matter how much you love someone else, and no matter how much you care for someone else, there is absolutely nothing you can do to make them do or continue to do something. Might make them start something. You might put a little external pressure on them that means, okay, I need to change my life around. I'm going to do it for you. But they're not going to keep doing it for you. Once the fire's off, once the back is against the wall, is no longer against the wall, people do what they want to do. And when you realize how hard it is to change yourself, maybe you'll start to realize how hard it is to change others. Okay? So the second question about your focus is, do you focus on what you can control in life or what you can't control in life? So what are the things you can control in life? What can you control? Very simple. Yourself, your attitude, your actions, how you show up in the world, what type of boundaries you set, how you honor those boundaries. See, there you go. Jim just said it. I'm like 37 sentences deep in the same sentence you wrote, Jim. The only thing I can control is my own actions. A lot of freedom in that. It's there's this good visual analogy. So imagine you grab a hula hoop and raise the hula hoop directly above your head. So you're holding a circle above your head that's a hula hoop. And then I want you to drop the hula hoop so it falls down around your body and around your feet. So technically, you're standing inside of a hula hoop. I just wanted to dramatize it a little bit for you. So now there's a hula hoop on the ground around your body. Here's the test of life. Everything inside the hula hoop, feel free to control. Everything outside of the hula hoop, everything, there is nothing you can do to control it. But what do people do? They're like, yeah, inside the hula hoop, I got that. Outside, let me go control people, places, and things. Whatever you focus on is what you're going to get. So if you focus on the inside's going to turn something really, really good. But if you focus on the outside, and that's what most people do, they focus on the person that made them feel a certain way. They focus on the person that said something. They focus on the situation that happened to them. They focus on something that happened, something that's going to happen. They just keep the out. Everything's external. And what's the impact of that? Well, you got no control over it. So when a person has no control over things in life and you're focused on that, you're constantly going to feel certain type of emotions. And trust me, they're not good. They're not the type of emotions that lets you go out there and accomplish all your goals and dreams. And you're constantly having your expectations just shattered because you think you're controlling or influencing something out there. So the third one that's really important here that we got to talk about is, do you focus on the past or do you focus on the future? Now, I know that some of you do a little bit of both. You go to the past, you sit there, you think about it, coulda, woulda, shoulda. You're hard on yourself. You're critical on yourself. You bash yourself a little bit. Stop doing that. Just stop it. Here's the thing. As a clinician, I know it's healthy to go there with the intention of processing it, of working through it, of talking it, of crying it out, of squeezing all the pain out of it, of finding a new perspective, reframing, like Sophia said, the past. Go there, do that, do it with pride, do it with support, do it with someone that's compassionate, do it with a professional. Go to the past and handle it. But once you have stopped going there, there is nothing there for you to sit in. It's okay to go there and stop by and kind of, nostalgia is a cool thing. Think about a time you did X, Y, and Z, marinate in those thoughts and feelings, but get the hell out of the past. So some of you do that, unfortunately. And some of you are just hyper focused into the future. I mean, there is no such thing as the present moment. Everything's about future-based. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if this happens that causes that to happen, that causes that to happen, that causes this to happen? I mean, what type of a life experience, mental health experience, what type of a power in the present moment are you going to have if you're crippled by these events that may or may not happen? So the focus, and by the way, most people are future-based. And just look at it this way. Just the fact that people come to therapy, just the fact that people come to recovery, just people that go to personal development, it shows that they're future-based. Because they're going through a situation in life, and what do? They tell themselves, what I'm doing isn't working. Like, it's not going to work down the line. If I keep this up, my spouse is going to leave me. If I keep this up, I'm going to lose my job. If I keep this up, I'm going to be depressed and suicidal. If I keep this up, I'm going to be strung out on the streets. When are all those things happening in the future? So we're always future-based. I mean, that's just the way we are. We're future-based. However, the future is not real without the present moment. The future does not exist without the present moment. There is no future without the present moment. Because right now in this moment, I'm talking to you at 9:39, July 13th, 9:39 a.m., July 13th, 2024. There is nothing else besides this. See, this moment, 9:39 turns into 9:40, 9:40 turns into 45, 50. It turns into 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It turns into July 14th. But here's the thing, when July 14th comes, which right now, July 14th is the future. But when July 14th comes, guess what July 14th is? It's the present moment again. The future is just a present moment that hasn't arrived yet. So You could keep thinking about these future moments, completely avoiding the present moment, avoiding all sense of action, responsibility, duties. And when the future comes, when that present moment comes, be like, oh, I'm not ready for this. Or handle the business that you need to handle right here, right now. So when that moment comes, which you call the future, you are equipped to handle it. Do what you can with what you have, with where you're at right now, and see what happens down the line. Most people don't do that simple direction. They freeze, they avoid, they procrastinate, they hide in their shells. There's no hiding from the present. It's what creates your world. So the good stuff there, by the way. So what do we got there? Oh, thank you for this. Oh, let's do Jim first. Yesterday's a history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today's a gift. That's why they call it the present. Thank you, Jim. What do we got here? By the way, you're a handsome man. I appreciate it. On top of your beautiful spirit, being caring, kind with your message makes it all. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. You know, this is, I didn't take what the guy said personal, just so you know, but I appreciate all the kind words. I've been doing this for a long time, over a decade. So, you know, it's not a wannabe. It's actually like who I am and what I do. And like we said, people are what people are, and that's okay. So now I want to teach you real quick about the impact that all that has on what we're talking about. Okay, the impact. So if you are someone that identified with a pattern of thinking that is based in what you are missing, focused on what you are missing. So I really want you to hear this, because a lot of people come to these type of worlds and these type of settings. They come to therapy settings. A lot of people come to therapy settings. And here is what their focus is on. Okay, you ready? They are focused on what is missing in their life. They are focusing on the things they cannot control. And they are focusing, ready? They're focusing on the future. Like hyper-focusing on it. So let's just dissect that type of a focus pattern and see what type of a life experience that human being's going to have. If you're constantly focusing on what is missing, if you're constantly focusing on what is missing in life, if you're constantly focusing on the future, and if you're constantly focusing on the things that you cannot control, how are you going to feel? Well, let me break it to you. You're going to feel sad. You're going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel just, man, you're not going to feel good. So people come to change their lives, or people struggle in life and they think something's wrong with them. People think that there's something wrong with their life. There's something wrong with the situation. What if I told you that the majority of the pain that you experience in life is not related to who you are or what's going on or anything like that? It's more related to the focus that you have or don't have. What you are focusing on. And the things you focus on, if you focus on them with the appropriate lens, they actually give meaning to life. Right? And the meaning that you get from life is where like the actions come from. If something means something to you, the actions you take are different. What you're willing to do for that meaning is different. And it all comes from the focus that we have. So, you know, in conclusion, this was a powerful talk. You know, it was a little shorter than normal, but 30 minutes should be good enough. And let's see there's some more people here. Lance, good to see you, man. Miss you. He said, well said. Just like driving a car, if you always stay in the rear view, you'll get an accident. Yeah, you know, and that's another analogy. I love analogies. So a car is a good one, because the car, you sit in a car, there's the front windshield, right? There's the rear view, and there's the kind of the sides, the little side mirrors. So the majority of the time, you actually want to, you're focused in the present, looking straight ahead, right? Like just kind of like, and it keeps unfolding itself, and you're just driving straight ahead. Once in a while, it's good to look in the rear view, because you want to see if anything from your past is creeping up, like dangerously creeping up. That like it looks familiar. And also the sides, whenever you want to make changes in life, like we want to change directions, you want to pivot, you always want to look and see for your blind spots, right? You want to take a look to make sure that it's safe to change lanes, to make sure that it's the right time. And that, so the car is a beautiful analogy. Thanks for bringing that up. So if you have been using the tools you and Gabe taught me for a while, thank you so much, changing my life. I'm really happy to hear that. You deserve it. By the way, the like button at the top right corner of your screen, if you tap 3 dots, you'll see the icons for the, oh, cool. Okay. I'm learning. And yeah, you're welcome, Jim. Appreciate you guys. So all that being said, love and appreciate you. Hope there was some value added to this thing. Thanks for grateful for the community we have here and all the support that we give to each other. One day at a time, let's go out there and have a wonderful life. Take care, everyone.